Hey, I am not a YouTuber, so don't judge. I'll start that off right away. But I thought one of the things when I was planning our hike for the Tour de Mont Blanc, 10 days on trail, one of the hardest things I found was how did ladies pack their packs? Lots of videos, lots of lists out there, but what actually did you bring? How did you pack it? So I thought maybe it might help somebody. If not, just scroll on by. But this is my pack that I brought. It's a 28-liter Gregory Jade. I love it. Fits my body type perfectly. It is for females. Had it sized at REI. Absolutely love this pack. Let's start with the outside pocket. So obviously I have my Kula cloth. Never had to use it. Always good to have handy. Identification cards. I also kept carabiners, hair ties. On this pack, I would often put my hat or I would put my headband. In this outer pocket, I just used it to shove my hut shoes in. These are Birkenstock flip-flops. They're rubbery. They were perfect for taking showers in. They were perfect for walking around the hut at night. You can't wear your hiking shoes in the huts, in the geets, in the refugios. So they were perfect. They were very lightweight. Awesome shoes. I would highly recommend something similar to that. Most of the huts do provide Crocs for you, but I just kind of felt better having my own shoes. This top pocket, basically the only thing I kept in there was my rain cover for my pack, which we did use a couple of times, but that pocket made it easy to access. Side pockets, I took them out already, but they are my micro spikes, which we did use a couple of times for snow crossings and whatnot. On the actual straps, super cool because this is a night core and it is for my cell phone. And I got lots of people along the trail who saw it, who asked where it was because it's super easy. Quick unclip it, take your phone, taking pictures. You didn't have to dig it out of anything. I love this. In fact, I have another one on my camel pack for just normal day hikes here in Colorado. And then the two waist packets that I had, I did use those. I kept hydration tablets in one and I kept protein bars in the same one. Obviously I ate them, protein goo. Never used the hydration packets. And then in this pocket I would keep my reading glasses. I also had ibuprofen. I had my sunscreen that I could get handy, and then I also, after it wasn't soaking wet, I kept my headband in there. This is another thing invaluable. It keeps the sweat out of your eyes. It keeps the sunscreen from running into your eyes. Probably this and this were my two most absolute things that I really was glad that we had on the trip. And those are just easy things to access in my side pockets. I love how this has vented. It never got sweaty back. Even doing 4,500 feet in straight up elevation inclines, as much as I got sweaty, my pack never did get terribly sweaty. We've been home, what is it, Friday? We've been home since Tuesday night. I have not unpacked my pack yet. So thankfully there's no smell-o-vision because it probably smells just lovely. But what I did in my pack, if I open it up, inside this flap, I've got my air tag, of course, bottle opener, comes in handy. In this pack, I just had like our little Matador blanket. Saw this on the Our Exit Strategy YouTube videos. They used it, we never did. We never really stopped and had a picnic along the way. We ate mostly at the refugios. What else did I keep in there? Oh, that's also where I kept my passport. Passport's already put away for safety. So that was in there. And then you can kind of see, I had 1, 2, and 3 of the dry bags. I'll go through those in a second. I also did get the bladder that comes with the Gregory, which I love. I like to be hands-free when I hike. I don't want to be constantly pulling out a water bottle. And the water is so good in Europe, Switzerland, the Alps, that you can just drink it, right out of the streams, which we did several times. But I would fill this with about 1.5 liters to 2 liters every day. And it was just handy. I love it. Some people don't like them, some people do. That's just an individual choice. In the bladder pocket, I did keep extra pads for my hiking shoes if I needed those, but otherwise that was pretty much water. The only thing, and I finally figured it out, is even when it's loaded to fill it with water, it's kind of a pain in the butt, but if you fill it in the morning, you don't need to fill it the rest of the day. These obviously were not in my pack during the hike, but these are my hiking shoes, and love, love, love. These are Topos. They are trail runners, and they were phenomenal for the hike. Plenty of traction, plenty of coverage, comfortable, light. We had copious amounts of stream crossings, snow, all of that stuff, and got them wet, and within 15-20 minutes didn't even know we had just tromped through a river. So I love my Topos. So that's my pack, fully packed with about 2 liters of water in the bladder. It came in at right at 21 pounds, so not too bad. I love it, love it. So as you can see, this was how I packed my pack. This was the very bottom bag that I did. And what I put in this bag, these are all Sea to Summit dry bags. You can get them on Amazon. What I packed in the very, very bottom one was stuff that I did not need to access on the trail. So let's kind of go through that one. This, another Sea to Summit. This is my vanity kit. Really light. It had everything I needed in it. Face cleaners, toothpaste, toothbrush, Wild, very awesome deodorant, lightweight too for a pack. Never had to use the blister pads because of my amazing Topos, never had a blister, but I just had, very minimum stuff that I needed. The only makeup of any semblance that I brought was an old mascara, and that's it. You don't wear makeup when you're hiking, 10 days straight, on average 10 to 12 miles a day. So that was in, that I didn't need except for when we got to the huts. I have my dry towel, my microfiber towel. This is Euphoria. I got the bigger one. I have lots of hair and I did not want a teeny tiny microfiber towel, so I took a little bit of extra weight for this one. Dries really quick. That was also in that bag. My sleep sack. So we got the Silk Liner sleep sack just off of Amazon. This is the Sea to Summit again. I think we used this for the 10 nights. They required you to have a sleep sack. When we had private rooms or when we did a hotel on a couple of nights, we didn't need to have them, but a sleep sack is mandatory. I was having foot pain before we left, so I brought my super, super light, rubbed my foot with that every night, and that was awesome. Definitely would suggest bringing that. One thing that we did bring that we never needed, because every place we stayed had pillows, but this was an inflatable pillow. Some people like to have their own pillow. I never even took it out of the package, but it's super light, so it wasn't too much of the extra weight. Let's see. Another thing people suggested too was the headlamp for huts at night. Never use it. It's been in the bottom of the bag the entire hike. But that's just us. Let's see. I did throw in the extra portable charger in there on our last night because I didn't need it anymore being the last day, but normally that would be somewhere else. This was a cute little bag we got from Mont when we ordered their sack lunch one day, and then we just bought a tourist muff on the way. One of the things about buying things is you will go through some cute little villages, and then you realize if I bought this, it's very cute, it's adorable, it's a souvenir, you have to carry it for the next however many days you're still hiking. So that kept the shopping to a minimum. So that was the bottom bag. The only thing I needed at night. My charging cords were in there. I had taken those out because I use them at home. I think that was pretty much anything that wasn't in there post-hike, but anything we needed at the hut, I kept in the bottom bag so I didn't have to get in and out of it during the day. The middle bag, also stuff that I needed at the hike, but I wanted it a little bit closer in case I needed it during the day, were the hiking clothes. And so you can kind of see this is what I brought. I had a pair of hiking shorts. Jack calls them my Kevin shorts. He thinks they look like mom and dad shorts. So I had one pair of hiking shorts, I brought one pair of, these are Title IX Femme Trek joggers. These are Mountain Hardwear. Love, in fact, these that I'm wearing now are Mountain Hardwear, just the short ones. I have probably 4 pairs of these. I brought the longer ones for the hike. My, not Title IX, Athleta Femme Trek hiking pants. I did bring, here's another pair. These are my Mountain Hardwear shorter ones. I never hiked in these, but I had an extra, I brought them as an extra hiking pair of shorts. They were my jammy shorts. So I wore these every night for pajamas. But if I needed an extra pair of shorts on the hike, I had an extra pair of shorts on the hike. Let's keep with the clothes here. Obviously, I brought 2 sports bras along. I wore one for 2 or 3 days, 2 days. And then I had the other one for the next 2 days. They're not the quickest drying, so that way when one was drying after being washed, I still had another one. What else do we have in here? Socks. My hiking club socks, had to have those along with. I was a hiking club ambassador. These Injinji toe socks are the most amazing things ever. I took 3 pairs along, so the pair that's not here was obviously the ones I wore the last day. But these toe socks, I think, are the main reason, along with my toe clothes, I never got blisters or anything. And so that's pretty good for 10 days straight of, well, with a rest day of hiking. Those are the best socks ever. Here's the other sports bra I brought along. I did bring one long sleeve. This is just an REI, lightweight top, one long sleeve top. Always started the mornings in it, but then once you start the big inclines up, that came off. For the other tops, what else do we have in there? Oh, there's the other pair of socks. For the other tops, I don't like to hike and be hot. So I had my long sleeve shirt, and then I also brought Patagonia tank tops, 1, 2, and 3 tank tops along with me, quick drying. 2 were so I could wear a fresh shirt every other day. The third one was what I slept in. I know some people said, oh, you don't need that much, but for me, that meant every night I always had after shower, I always had a cleaner pair of shorts and a tank top to sleep in. So 3 tank tops. I brought absolutely no short sleeve shirts, but I like tank tops. That's just me. And then I did, actually I didn't spring for it. I do have the icebreaker underwear, and 3 pairs of those were all that I needed for that. And then the other thing, oh, this is my husband's. My husband's hat apparently made it into my bag. So that was all the clothes I had, and that was in the middle bag. So if I needed to get in, if I needed to change shorts throughout the day, I never did, it was somewhat accessible on that. And then, I forgot one thing. Let me snag it really quick. In the top bag was stuff that was my outerwear that I may need rain, snow. And I did get in and out of this bag a couple of times. On the very top of it was my REI raincoat. Used this a few times, started off the mornings in it. Eventually I figured out, instead of shoving it back in the bag, I just kept it on top inside my pack in the bag. So my raincoat definitely was a must. But in the outerwear bag, I have my North Face lightweight puffer. Actually used this at the top of Col de Balme. It was super, super cold, and I think I started one morning, it was really chilly in it, but the best use for the puffer is at night when you're sitting around the huts. If it's nicer outside but it's still chilly, the puffer was perfect for that. And because all I brought were tank tops, so I wore my puffer sometimes down to dinner too as a little bit of extra warmth, because my long sleeve shirt was smelling pretty ripe by the end of the day. So the puffer. And then the one thing, controversial I guess is the word to describe it, are the rain pants. I have the REI rain pants. They stayed in that bag the entire trip. Even the couple of times it rained, it wasn't like an all-day pouring rain. It rained for maybe a half an hour max at the most. My hiking pants dried quick. We didn't see any reason to get in and take the rain pants out. We never used them. if I had to do it again, I probably wouldn't bring them along. So the outerwear is what I kept on the very top of my bag so I could get into it quickly. So I think that's pretty much it. Not bad for 10 days, right? Like I said, the things that I would definitely make sure I had that people pointed out that they wish they had too. The cell phone case is a must. The headband is definitely a must to keep the sweat out of your eyes. I don't feel, other than the rain pants and the pillow, I don't feel like there is anything I brought that I wished I hadn't brought. Everything I brought, I used for the most part. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So I do have a list. If you want the full list, I'm not sure how people link things to YouTube, so I don't know if I'll even try. But if you want the list, just send me a message. You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Facebook. You can see all the pictures from the hike. It was the most amazing hike ever. If anybody doesn't know, the Tour de Mont Blanc is a 110-mile through hike. You encircle the whole Mont Blanc Massif. Every day you're doing anywhere, I think the least amount was 1,800 feet ascent, up to 4,500 feet ascent every day. And what comes up must come down, so then you have to do the descent as well. Throughout the hike, we stayed at Geets, Refugios. We had a mix of private rooms, a mix of, the biggest room we ever slept in was a 6-person room. We had a 4-person room one night. The food is phenomenal. This is not the hike that you go on and think you're gonna come back 20 pounds because you're hiking massive amounts every day and burning 2,000 to 3,000 calories every day. You're eating as much too. The food is amazing along the hike. So I can also share our route. I self-planned it. We did not pay for a company. Some people pay for companies, which is great, but you are not guaranteed to stay where you want to stay. And we had specific places that we wanted to stay at based on reviews from other people. So I self-booked everything for us starting last August, finished up by January. And then it was just a waiting game and planning and getting prepared for the hike. And looking back at this, it doesn't seem like we brought a lot, but it seems like we prepared for forever to go. Hopefully the list and hopefully seeing how I organized my pack was helpful. And if you are doing the Tour de Mont Blanc soon, let me know. I'd love to give any tips, any suggestions. It was an amazing trip and a hike of a lifetime. I never thought I would hike for 11 days, 11 days, such elevation. It's just an amazing trip. So if you've never heard of the Tour de Mont Blanc, definitely look it up, research it, and maybe you too can do a hike like that. All right, thanks for listening.